Okay, this problem is the end of 17A. It's part 3, and they're asking us to do some cash flows. I have to remind you of a couple of things. Cash flows fall into 3 categories: operating, which is by far the most common; investing, which is when you buy equipment for you, buildings for you, patents for you, stock of another company, bonds of another company. In other words, when you are buying stuff for your business. And financing, which is your stocks, your bonds, your mortgages, your notes payable. So in reality, and you can kind of use these as a guide as you're going through and looking at things. If you're not sure, I would say about 95 to 97% of all transactions are operating. The other 3 to 5 are investing and financing. So in this case, I would do those first because they're the easiest and get done with them. We have to refer back to this sheet we made at the beginning, the journal, and we have to look at this category, and we have to say, where did we spend or get this cash from? Well, let's take a look. And I'm a big believer in the Alice in Wonderland theory. I don't know if you remember, Alice fell through the hat. She fell through the rabbit hole, ended up, and the first person she met was the Mad Hatter. And he said, start at the beginning, and when you come to the end, stop. That's kind of the way I like to do this. So I'm going to start at the beginning, and when I come to the end, I'm going to stop. I got $40,000 for common stock. That's a financing activity. So cash investment from shareholder, we'll make the shareholder blue. $40,000. And I'm just going to go down the list, little by little. 2,200. What was that? Do you remember? You have to go back and take a look. Well, that 2,200 was cash that we paid for rent. So cash paid for rent, 2,200. And I'm just going to continue to go down the list. Cash paid for cleaning. If you remember right, that was $750. We'll put brackets around these to indicate that they're all cash going out. Then we paid for our telephone, and that was $300. And our utilities for our grow lights, that was $280. And cash paid to employees was $1,500. And cash received from operating activities, that's cash received from customers. So we have to go through and we can add that up. And altogether it comes to $11,000 in cash received from customers. So $11,100 was cash received from customers. So our total cash from operating activities was $6,070. Our cash paid for investing activities was just this. The office equipment for $1,890. So that's all we spent. Now, in the real world, in your jobs, in your firms, yeah, you could have a jillion of these, but they're all going to be the same. You're just going to have more under each category. And the last thing left Remember, we paid a dividend to the shareholder of $1,400. We paid him $1,400. So altogether, our total cash from financing activities was $38,600. Inflow from operations, outflow from investing, inflow from financing. They're all good signs. You always want to see cash in from investing, or from operating, excuse me. Cash out from investing is good. That means that the company's growing. They're spending money, they're buying property, plant, equipment, furniture, fixtures, etc. Cash in or out from financing doesn't matter. It doesn't really tell you anything, because if you have cash going out for financing, it means you're paying dividends, you're paying off mortgages, that's a good thing. If you have cash coming in, it means that people are buying your stock. That's a good thing. So, our net increase in cash, we add these three together. That, and that. We add those together, we come to $42,780. Now I want to point out something to you. That's the number here. That's the number that's reported on the balance sheet. So when you're doing a statement of cash flows, you know what your answer is. You know where your ending number should be. And if it's not that, you've done something wrong. This was our first month of business, so we had nothing to begin with. So our ending cash was $42,780. 17A, Part 3.